Morning hustlers.
Morning.
Welcome back to the channel. So Kel and I are out on a little walk this morning. Thank you for all your lovely comments and advice about my poor back. I can tell you, as you can see, it's definitely on the mend. Feeling a lot better, and I'm finding that keeping moving along with the ice packs and heat packs is what's helping me. Big day on the homestead today. So finally, for those of you who have been around for a while, you know that I keep moaning about our kitchen. So the kitchen units are arriving today, so we thought we'd get up early, get out and do a lovely walk just before the delivery comes. We'll be building that probably ourselves over the next couple of weeks. I'm sure we'll share some of that on this channel. But for today, just wanted to show you some of the beautiful scenery on our morning walk. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. And what I did want to show you today as well, and I will show you as soon as we get back. So we've bought a couple of little items for our homestead, and it's really got our motivation going, alongside watching a few YouTube videos recently of homestead for beginners and stuff like that. So when I get back to the house, I'm going to show you what we've bought. Right hustlers, we are back from our lovely country walk. Well, I guess every walk we do now is country because that's where we are. So I said I was going to let you know about some new additions, but firstly, exciting times. Let me show you this. Our kitchen units have arrived, yeah! I'm so happy that they've arrived. Obviously we've got to put them together. Now, I know when we spoke about the kitchen a few times during the renovation stuff, you know, we've got our main unit there, which was bespokely made with our sink in it. The unit is going to go like an L shape, so along there and then to there. And there's like be a big cupboard there, there's like a big drawer set, and then there's cupboards either bit. So it just means that we can get away from this. Now, like I was saying, we've had that unit made and we were looking to go kind of like just a bit different, a bit eclectic, you know, freestanding units and stuff, but we've researched so many and we've spoken to a few people, also the people that made this unit for us, and to be quite honest, the cost was just so high. Even if we got a second-hand unit and refurbished it and upcycled it, we didn't get the right amount of storage, we couldn't get the right amount of space, and you're left with like some really awkward spaces that are still there. So we just found it more beneficial for us to just go traditional, and we've got some fitted units and a L-shaped worktop that will make such a massive difference. And you know, we've gone a bit different, so we've gone quite dark on our kitchen cupboards of that unit that I just showed you with the sink, and with this unit, when we'll show you when it's all up obviously, the worktop's a different colour because we wanted a bit of mismatch, we wanted different stuff, and the cupboards are like a really dark royal blue, so I'm looking forward to getting them up. What that means is that everything that you just saw in that big pile can be put away. Crates can go back up in the loft or in the sheds, and we'll just have a nice worktop that I can use. I have done quite well really with the little worktop that we've got, but it will be nice, and I feel like I can get more into cooking and do some baking. Just feels a bit more not luxurious, but a bit more normal, if you know what I mean. So I'm really pleased that they've come. I think I've roped in my poor old dad to come and help us with that. I know flat pack is pretty easy. We can do flat pack. We've done flat pack before. My dad's got experience with doing kitchens, so I think it's always good to have his expertise coming in. And I'm quite nervous about cutting the worktop, because the worktop, as you saw, is one long length, but we need to cut it and then put a join in, and then it'll go across on the L shape. So we're going to do that. So that's the first addition that's come in. I don't know if you can tell either. The last few weeks' videos have been quite, not serious, but I've been chatting about, quite important things like health benefits, financials, a lot of talking heads, that type of stuff. And I said to Kel, I feel like that we're saying we're homesteading, but we're not actually getting to that point yet, but really we are. But what I want to say is that I really feel like I'm getting my mojo back. We've watched so many videos recently on YouTube of like people homesteading and kind of getting out on the land and slow living, and it's really giving us a boost. Now, I've said quite a few times that we pretty much missed this season with growing. I know that we might be able to get some kind of late veg like potatoes and kind of some of the root vegetables and stuff later in the year, but we've still got to get our fence up. We've still got to get the water pipe fixed, which is hopefully happening in the next month or so. And then we want to start thinking about the long back fence across the back, and I can just show you there, as you can see out the window. So like all the way along, and it goes round the corner. Now, to keep costs down, I mean, obviously it's not anything difficult, I'd say. It's just one long length, so I think it's probably something that we can do ourselves. Now, we've kind of had a measure up and totted up some pricing. We're obviously going to get our the builder that we've used for all our renovations, Simon, who's been fantastic. He's going to do our front fence for us, purely because that's not just fencing. So we're going to have a couple of panels, then we're going to have a gate that you walk through with a lock and a handle and everything like that. And also, if you remember, quite a while ago we bought our 2 double gates from the reclamation yard. So we're going to get those put on, and that's a little bit more tricky. So we're going to get Simon to do that one for us. But along the back, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but we're thinking about maybe doing it ourselves and making it out of pallets. Now, for those of you that are like me, that don't really have any creativity or any imagination, when Kel mentioned a pallet fence, I just picture some little shanty town with pallets lined up the back. But she's assured me that's not what we're going to do. You can tell who's the brains of the outfit, right? So I think we're going to look into pallets, but what I mean when I say pallets is we're probably going to try and get some pallets here and there where we can. We haven't even started looking for them, and I've seen a few posts on kind of local groups on Facebook and Marketplace and stuff, and people are like, got pallets, anyone want them, save me getting rid of them, that type of stuff. So we're probably going to grab onto some of those when we see them, and it'll be literally a lot of elbow grease from us, a lot of graft, basically pulling the pallets apart, sanding them down, getting the point painted on, getting the point cut in, and then obviously painted and treated. And obviously this, I think it's like 112 foot, I think, might be completely making that up. Something, it's got those numbers in it anyway. So it's going to be quite a long one, so it's going to take quite a lot of time, but I've already said, time is what we've got in abundance, and we always like to give ourselves like a bit of pressure, but with this, the only real deadline as such is we need it ready by next growing season. So we've got all winter to get that done. I know it's going to be a horrible job because it's going to be outside, but I'm sure we'll have some dry days, albeit cold, that we can crack on and get all those bits done. Take a lot of time getting all the pallets, then you've got to get them all prepared, then all painted, and then obviously making the fence. So I think I've said already that I wanted to keep it quite low anyway, because I love looking out onto that farmer's field. Love seeing the animals running about. Not that the farmers like everything in there eating their food, but I think it's just a nice horizon to look out on, and I don't want to block any of that off. So that sort of height, pallet height, is going to be perfect for us. And as long as it's kind of, the gaps are tight enough to sort of deter any animals, then that's all we can ask for, really. So the main point of this video was a little bit like I feel in a really good place, a lot more upbeat, a lot more kind of looking forward to the homesteading side of things. Now we've gone through all the other bits, But I did say that we've had some new additions. Obviously the kitchen units arriving is going to be life-changing for us. But look at this. Hang on. I know you probably just saw it a little bit. Can you see? Alright. Got us a little tomato plant. Now, I don't think I can do it while I'm on the camera, but I'm just going to get this outside and then I'll be right with you. The reason why we had that one inside is because it was looking a bit sorry for itself and I wanted to tie it up. Tomorrow we are going to get some grow bags and we're not ready to plant in the ground right now because firstly we don't know where we're going to be putting anything. Secondly, we're just not ready to do that yet. And we've always grown tomatoes in grow bags and we've had such success with tomatoes. So anyway, look, I know we're meant to be growing our own and a lot of the time in the future we'll be saving our seeds and getting our own seeds and stuff like that and having them for the future. But we found quite near us, and we've seen a sign for it. Every time we drive past we're like, we must go there, we must go there. It's like a gardening outlet. And we went there when my mum and dad came up for the weekend last week. And we went up there and they had so much stuff. Oh my god, I was just thinking like a garden outlet is going to be like garden furniture and pots and everything. So many plants, veg, fruit trees. Fruit trees on offer, £10, and it was just gutting because we wanted to get fig trees, apple trees, pear trees. We wanted to do it all, and it was so tempting to just like, oh my god, let's get it and plant it. But you know, this new life, we've got to plan. It's got to be all about the planning. So we didn't get the fruit trees because we just don't know where we want to put that type of tree yet. We don't know where our beds are going to go. We want to get the fence sorted, so we held off on those. But look at the 3 triplets, the additions. So we've got bell peppers, there's one there, there's another little one coming out there. This is, so you know the pointy sweet red peppers. There's a few little buds coming up, a few little ones. And then the tomato plant that you just saw. Now, they're quite big pots. They were £1 each, £1 each. And I know it's all about kind of being frugal and doing things yourself and getting your own seeds and kind of living off the land. One, you know, we're not at that point yet. Two, it's quite interesting that it's great to do all this stuff yourself, but sometimes it's cheaper just to buy. Like if we get, well, you can already see the tomatoes that are coming out on that. You might pay £1, £2 for a pack of tomatoes in the shop. So we've only got to get one sort of pack. So one pack of 6 tomatoes off that tree, bush plant. And then we've already got our money back on that. Peppers we've always struggled to grow. So these ones already started off. So we kept them watered and now we're just going to watch them grow. They'll be going in the grow bags as well. Going to get some canes. But it just gets your motivation levels going. And I'm so excited because we've actually got something now that we can keep an eye on. I know people are probably watching me thinking, I've got a whole farm, you're getting excited about 3 plants. It's been a journey, and yes, I'm getting excited about 3 plants. I want to show you something else, and this is not obviously stuff that we can eat, but you know, we've been focusing on the outdoors, I've been going on and on about the lawn needing cutting all the time. Look at our little hanging basket we got. Excuse the rubble pile, it's going to get used or gone at some point. Look at that. It just makes such a difference having something nice like that. It's starting to become a home and not just a house, which I'm really buzzing for. Can I show you that there's not really been any updates on our burst water pipe? But actually I've got a few other garden jobs tomorrow, so what I might do is, I don't know if you can see, so where the pile is, yeah, just there behind me, is a big pile of sand that's left over from the works that the plumbers did. So I'm going to get some sand put on top of that and then probably get the mud put back on. Sand just to protect where it's been fixed until we get well, that's a temporary fix until we get the main fix put back on. My lawn is looking pretty alright. Did it the other day. You can see. It's getting there. It's absolutely getting there. But my job for tomorrow, like I say, a few garden jobs. I'm gonna get the sand done, and it's time for the weed and feed. Now, people have been saying, and I've read the instructions, don't put it on new lawns. There was an existing lawn there now. Excuse me, my head's all over the place. There was an existing lawn there, but the weeds just coming up are ridiculous. So we've had it a few months now. I'm going to get the weed and feed down. I've got the proper, I might have filmed some of that tomorrow actually, so you can see that in the next video, but I've got the proper, don't even know what you call it, like, not trailer, but tray that you put stuff on wheels and then put it all along. So I'm going to get that on, start getting the lawn into a decent place ready for planting next year. And it is all about the preps. So I think I mentioned in the last video, there's so much to do, like so much stuff, but my back's been hurting for a little while and I've just not had the motivation. But now I'm getting more, my back's getting better. It's still really sore actually. Went out for a walk this morning, as you saw. I think that does it good though, getting out and moving it, because I do, it's like twinging, and someone actually commented it sounds like a muscle spasm, and I think that's what it is, because I've had that before, and it's a little bit swollen on that left side, not just the usual love handles, there's a bit of an extension on there. So I think it's that, but I'm used to it, you know, I've had it a few times in my life, so I know sort of what works for me. So yeah, busy in the garden, even though we're not doing the proper garden, there's still bits that you need to maintain at all times. So I'm going to keep you updated with the progress of the triplets, tomatoes, bell peppers and sweet pointed peppers. We'll see how they go. Get the weed and feed down. You can't cut it again, so you saw the length that it was. Let me just show you again. I know there's a few patches there, but I'll explain in another video what we're going to do in this bit. Over there, I literally cut it 2 days ago and it's already grown already. No, 3 days ago, and it's already grown like that. And once I cut it, I was going to put the weed and feed on, and then I read the instructions. That's what I normally do something and then read the instructions after. Read the instructions, and it says do not put on, like, once you've mown the lawn, you've got to leave it at least 2 days. So I've left it a few days, and I also wanted to wait this week. There is some rain due, not tomorrow but the next day, so I want to get that on so it'll rain in, water it in a little bit, and then you can't mow it until 2 days after. So once the rain's gone, then I can give it a good mow, and then you just have to keep maintaining it. Apparently, like, the moss dies first, then you scrape all that off, then the weeds start wilting and dying, and then you just got to keep on top of these things. It's basically each day at a time, trying to tick off a few little bits, and then that, like, you know when you, I don't even know how to say it, but you know when, like, you collect the pennies and the pounds and find themselves I don't even know what that is, but something like that. But it's a little bit like that with the garden. You just little bits at a time, but they all prepare you for the big stuff towards the end, if you know what I mean. So if you get what I'm trying to say, stick with me. So that's what we're doing, that's what I'm concentrating on this week. So bits in the garden, getting some grow bags, getting some canes, getting them bits into the bags, getting the weed and feed on, putting the sand onto there, and maybe in a week or so then it will be the kitchen. But it's obviously taking up a lot of space and the kitchen's all over the shop, so we're going to get that done, and then I'll be able to start properly baking. I've started sharing a few of the meals and stuff that I've been doing on my Instagram page, or our Instagram page, which is Wild Heart Hustle Homestead, so make sure you have a check on there, and I'll start doing some recipes and stuff. And I'm still hearing people want to see a bit of a prepper pantry, so I'm going to show you that at some point in the next few videos as well. But if you like what you see, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and we are essentially building this frugal homestead from the bottom up, literally from the bottom. I mean, we are starting right from scratch. So thanks for following along. We appreciate all the support, and I will catch you on the next video. But I hope you understand there's a lot going on, but the mojo is coming back. See you soon, hustlers.